What's going on, everybody? It's 8:30 on Wednesday, June 29th. So this is the big ACTION-FLIX Live Obi-Wan Kenobi reaction special. First of all, my apologies to everybody out there who was waiting for this broadcast on Monday and then last night. And of course, things happen. Like I said, I always say that, if I reschedule, things happen, especially like with my neurological disorder. But I'm live. We're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm late. I understand. I don't get a chance to binge watch and view things like most of you guys do out there. So I finished Obi-Wan Kenobi on Sunday. Okay, so I finished. I finished on Sunday. I watched the last two episodes on Sunday, and I watched the last one again today because that's probably the best episode, of course, that we're talking about. So I was going to do a review for Obi-Wan Kenobi, a normal review, because I'm starting to try to write a little bit more. As you guys can see if you follow my website, I did a review today for Hot Seat. And my apologies if you hear some thunder in the background. We're getting a thunderstorm, so that might show up. So I did a review today for Hot Seat, which stars Mel Gibson and Kevin Dillon. It's one of those Lionsgate, Grindstone Entertainment direct-to-video movies. And I wrote that today, but that took a while. I watched it last night. Not a bad movie, but you can read my review. I basically the title says it all. I believe the title is Hot Seat sizzles enough for one viewing. And so it's like a one and done. Nothing special. Mel Gibson is. I actually enjoyed Mel Gibson in this movie. I thought I enjoyed the fact that he was around. Like it wasn't like like a bit part. That he was pretty much in the movie. But yeah, so my review for that is up now. So I was going to do a written review for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I was going to do a audio podcast for Obi-Wan Kenobi. But then I have since, as you guys can see, joined the StreamYard army. So now I'm a little bit, more high tech in my approach to doing my live shows. So so I was going to do a written one, but I was like, you know what? Obi-Wan Kenobi is too special to just do a written review, so I got to talk about it. And I got to say, it was funny because I hadn't seen it as much as everybody else had at that time. And I was hearing all these mixed reactions from friends of mine and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, I was like, I thought this was going to be the cure to Boba Fett. We all know Boba Fett. I've said it in the past, it's pretty bad when the best part of the book of Boba Fett is when the Mandalorian shows up. I think he's the new Boba Fett. So I enjoyed Boba Fett, but again, it didn't knock my socks off. The 4-year-old child in me, wasn't screaming. And again, yes, that person I argued with on social media, I do have a 4-year-old inside of me. And yes, I can still get nostalgic about things. And yes, I still look at things as, being a kid and everything, because even though I'm 49, I can still do that. So your argument is null and void, sir. Anyway, going on super disappointed in Boba Fett. There were good parts, of course, the last episode was pretty cool, with all they did with it. And the Mandalorian being in it was pretty cool. I thought Ming-Na Wen was pretty good in it, but Tamora Morrison, I get it, but I hate that he keeps taking his helmet off. And I've said this in the past, my pet peeve with these types of movies where they're iconic characters from comic book franchises, or animated TV shows or comic books, they wear masks, and then they get these actors that they think you need to see their face. No, we don't want to see their face. We want to see, like, Boba Fett's supposed to have his helmet on the whole. I mean, he's not a Mandalorian. I get it. The Mandalorians have a law that they are never to remove their helmet in view of others. Obviously they can eat and stuff like that, but they got to do it like in the privacy, of them being by themselves. But yeah, Boba Fett, yeah. But in the movies, the original movies, he always had his helmet. He was kind of a mystic character. And again, they shed the layers of that. And, then we got to see more, I wanted to keep the mystic, kind of like Snake Eyes. Did I need to see Henry Golding through, the whole film and then finally put the mask on? Absolutely not. I wanted to put the mask on in the first 10 minutes of the goddamn movie. But so that's my pet peeve with Boba Fett. Because I did a review for Boba Fett on the first episode. It was a positive review because I thought it was pretty good. But then since I watched it, I have not done any more reviews for it, and I probably won't. I might revisit it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But Tamura Morrison has been quoted as saying they need to make Boba Fett, bring him back to his badass roots. I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's like we need him kicking ass, and putting the helmet on. Put the helmet on. All right, so let's get back to Obi-Wan. I'm getting sidetracked here, but that happens. When I do these things, I just like to talk. And plus, with me having my neurological disorder, anytime I'm having a good day and I'm talking and everything's lined up, I'm super excited. So I just want to talk. I just want to talk to y'all. So if you're out there, I got a live chat going on. Shoot me a question. Or talk to me, just, give me your viewpoints, when I'm talking about a specific part of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's get into it. All right. So basically Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I got notes here, so bear with me if I'm looking this way. I got my notes up here. Obi-Wan Kenobi starts 10 years from Revenge of the Sith. And we all know that Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, now, this was the biggest gripe of people watching the first two episodes. They didn't like how Obi-Wan was portrayed. But then when I was watching it, I got it. I'm like, this is an Obi-Wan Kenobi that has failed. Or in his eyes, he failed because his Padawan, his student, basically, went Order 66. They went on a kill mission and killed all the Jedi and even the little ones and everything. So he's guilt-ridden. He's having a hard time coping with the fact that his student has since become Darth Vader. So he's just like at the end of the Revenge of the Sith, he's hiding out on Tatooine. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I love that Joel Edgerton is Uncle. I love Joel Edgerton. I'm not real sure. Let me click on here. I got some different websites pulled up here. Let me see who plays Aunt Beru in this one. Hang on. Nope, she's not coming up, of course. Okay, that's besides. Okay, whatever. That's fine. So he's guilt-ridden, and he's not using the Force. I mean, he's in hiding, so he can't show that he's a Jedi because the Inquisitors, they're the groups of assassins, roaming the galaxy looking for Jedi, rounding them up and killing them, because they know that there's still Jedi out there. So he's in hiding, but he's keeping his eye on Luke Skywalker like he promised. We all know that Leia, is with Bail Organa, Jimmy Smits, who is the senator of Alderaan. So he knows that she's in good hands, but he's in despair. He's disconnected from everything, and it's hard to accept the fact when your apprentice is the one that's responsible for turning to the dark side and killing all the Jedi, So this is a character arc, people. Now, here's the thing: it's 6 episodes long. Okay, so let me go into this story. So we're going into the story now. So basically, what we got going on here is the redemption of Obi-Wan Kenobi. From his failures in Revenge of the Sith, he's trying to cope with life, and just trying to live. He has a mundane job. He's got like an assembly line job. He rides the, and again, apologies, if anybody out there knows what the creature is called that, he rides, but yeah, he brings home little tidbits from work and feeds them, and it's like a mundane everyday life. It's pretty hysterical, But then Bail Organa, we all see, and I didn't know that Princess Leia as a little girl was gonna. And again, a lot of people thought that she didn't know Obi-Wan before A New Hope. but that was wrapped up in the last episode, and I am going to do spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil everything. But yeah, they did know each other, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, so she gets kidnapped, and that was probably one of the worst scenes out of the series. She's in the forest, on Alderaan. It's all, but yet then, these criminals they want to kidnap her because this is a big plot, a bigger plot or conspiracy, if you will. So they're going to kidnap Leia to bring Obi-Wan out of hiding, and this is the Inquisitors, and we got the third sister Reva, again, and let me just stress. Moses Ingram, who plays the Inquisitor Reva, she got attacked on social media. Like, I don't understand why Star Wars fans get nasty and start attacking them personally. They're just freaking doing a job. She's acting, people. It's like, freaking chill out, but yet they're attacking her on social media. Now, her role, I wasn't impressed with at first. But then they changed my mind, and I'll talk about that later. But she's got a gripe with Obi-Wan, and we don't know what it is yet. But yeah, so they kidnap. That's her plan, is to kidnap Leia to bring Obi-Wan out of hiding. But it's funny, they got Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to play one of the kidnappers. I was just like, it's Flea, it's kind of weird. But the scene's just silly. Like, she's running from them, they can't catch her. And it's just a poorly executed sequence, if you will. But it is what it is. But yeah, so Bell, messages Obi-Wan and says that she's been kidnapped. Can you help? So Obi-Wan goes on a rescue mission. He goes to, the other planet. And again, pardon my, I don't remember all the names and everything, but it's like a decadent planet. It's like where the scoundrels all hang out, the criminal underworld and stuff like that. So he goes to rescue Leia, but he's out of touch with the Force. And the second episode, people were getting mad because why is he using it? But he's disconnected from it. So there's a short circuit, if you will, that he can't use it right away. So he's doing some martial art, which I thought was pretty cool. He was doing martial arts. He's fighting the guys and stuff like that, trying to rescue her and everything. But then he gets his ass kicked, which was unfortunate. But yeah, so he rescues her, and then and I liked the chemistry between Ewan McGregor and the little girl. Her name is Vivian Lyra Blair, and I thought she was awesome as little Leia. I was kind of hesitant of her at first, but then she won me over. She won me over big time. But then and then Reva's still on the hunt, and of course her plan doesn't get executed the way it wants, because he's able to get away and everything. And then it's the end of the second episode where we see Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader for the first time, and this is where the pedal to the metal gets hit, and the rest of the series takes off in 3, 4, 5, and 6, especially 5 and 6. But 3 and 4, I was entertained too. I tell you what, episode 3 is where he goes to the fortress, the Inquisitor fortress. And I didn't think that they needed to have Princess Leia get kidnapped twice. I thought that was kind of silly. It's like, I thought they were probably just like padding it out, and like just, what do I want to say? Again, sorry, I lose my train of thought sometimes. What do I want to say is, hang on, it'll come back to me. No worries. Shoot. So, he goes to the fortress, and this is a really cool episode because this is where he starts to get his mojo back. And I really dug it because he's doing some lightsaber action, and I loved when he throws the stormtrooper off and it gets cut in half. That was pretty nasty. That was pretty cool and everything. And then there was certain scenes where they were just like hell yeah moments and everything. And then the fourth episode was even better when he hooks up with the rumblings of the resistance. The resistance is starting to form, and he gets caught up with them. They're trying to escape the Empire, And I kind of like O'Shea Jackson Jr. was in it. I knew him from Den of Thieves. He plays Roken, who's like one of the, the head of the Resistance. And of course, Reva and the Empire, find them because they put the tracker in Leia's little droid, flying droid. So they know that where she's at. So there's a big battle, stormtroopers are getting killed, Obi-Wan's doing his lightsaber thing. Darth Vader is absolutely badass in this episode. I mean, this is like the one thing I gotta tell you, Disney has screwed up things in the Star Wars franchise. All right, let me just say that, big time. The sequel movies have a lot to be, desired. I still watch them. I enjoy them. The Last Jedi, Leia floating in space. What are you gonna do? I have no idea what they were thinking about with that. But I still laugh when I think about that. But they have not screwed up Darth Vader. Let me tell you, he is bad freaking ass in this movie, and he's screaming at people. He's like, "You've been warned." I love that line and everything. And then when the Resistance crew is trying to take off, he comes out and he pulls it down with the Force, and then he's ripping it open with the Force. That was a badass scene. And then they trick him, and then the other ship takes off. It was a decoy, and he gets pissed off, And then he has a pretty good lightsaber battle with Reva, because then we figure out what's going on. This is the episode where Obi-Wan and Reva have a moment before the fighting starts, and we find out that she's the little youngling at the beginning, the little black girl. That was at the beginning. That's her. She was a Jedi youngling, and she saw her friends get killed, and she saw Anakin Skywalker do it. So she's got a beef against him and a beef against Obi-Wan, because she's basically like, "Hey, Obi-Wan, why weren't you there? Why didn't you come save us?" Type of thing. So she's pissed at both of them. So she wants both of them, and that's when we find out, she's really undercover, and, she's an inquisitor, but she wants to get Anakin, and revenge for what happened to her friends, and Obi-Wan, because he did not get there to save them. So that's a pretty good revelation. I love that character arc. That's when I was starting to get into her. I thought her acting was a little over the top at times and a little bit cringy. So I was kind of put off a little bit by her, but I'm not going to attack her on social media, for God's sakes. I mean, good Lord. But this is when she started to, soar, in terms of character and character arc. And she has a pretty neat, it's badass. The lightsaber that she has, where it goes both ways, like Darth Maul does, and then you spin it. That was awesome. I thought that was a really nice touch. Like them thinking of different lightsabers to use. And she has a pretty decent fight with Darth Vader. Of course, Vader wins. He stabs her with his lightsaber, and you think she's gonna die, actually, which she doesn't. Then we go into 5 and 6, and this is really this is where it earns its Star Wars stripes. Let me tell you, people. I mean, so you got and then Obi-Wan. He's going to sacrifice himself to save the Resistance crew. He's going to have his confrontation with Darth Vader, and that's worth the price of admission alone. Let me tell you. So you got Reva, and then she decides to go after Luke Skywalker because she knows that Luke is Anakin's son, so she wants to take him out. And then we got Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, who pretty much turned badass. Like, pretty much we've never really seen them do anything. Whether it was the older ones in A New Hope or, Joel Edgerton and the other actress, they were just kind of there, But then they, Aunt Beru's like this badass, man. And she's like turns into this like Terminator, And like when Reva comes to get Luke, they like totally like fight her and stuff. And that's an awesome scene. But then you got Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader, and I tell you what, that's one of the best scenes in Star Wars right there. Whether it's the films or any of the series that they're making, that was one of the best scenes. I might dare say best scene, because the moment between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and when they're fighting, and the laser lightsaber fight is awesome, well choreographed. The only thing is, and this is one pet peeve with the show, was when it was dark, it was really dark, so it was kind of hard to see sometimes, and I hate that. It's like I just watched an independent movie called The Takedown, and I got to tell you what, that was a well lighted movie, and they probably paid $50 for it. Where this is Star Wars and Disney, you know. So it's like, why is it so dark? But anyway, that's a little nitpick, you know. But it did affect my score, you know, because it was hard to see sometimes. But then, you know, then Obi-Wan slashes Vader's helmet, and then you see half of Anakin's face, which is, you know, burned, you know. And then you see Darth, and how, you know, my friend is truly gone, and then Vader is like, you didn't fail me, I failed me. So he pretty much admits that he's the one that did it to himself. But this is what I've become. And I started to get misty-eyed, let me tell you. That was a pivotal moment, and that's one of the best moments in the Star Wars franchise, let me tell you. That scene right there, that moment right there, if you're a Star Wars fan, you frame that, because it's kind of like the heart of the story right there. You know, that's why, you know, then Obi-Wan never called him Anakin again. It was always Darth, you know, or Vader, you know, because that's the moment where he realizes his friend, his Padawan, his pupil, his apprentice is truly dead, and this evil force has taken over, you know. And but I liked how Anakin said that, you know, he failed himself. It's like, you didn't fail me, it was me. Because then, you know, they do the flashback scene where Obi-Wan and Anakin, you know, are laser lightsaber. They're fighting with lightsabers. You know, they're practicing, and you know, and it's Anakin's need to win. You know, to be the best, to, you know, to be number one. You know, and it consumes him, and that's what, you know, fuels his hatred and leads him to the dark side. You know, and that's pretty much what Obi-Wan says. You know, so that's how it happens. But you know, and then, you know, and it just culminates. You know, and then at the end, you know, he goes to see Uncle Owen, you know, and he sees Luke Skywalker, and you know, Uncle Owen's not really fond of Obi-Wan, you know, because he knows what has happened and what he's brought to Luke, you know, and them and everything. But then he's like, "Do you want to meet him?" And then they go over, and then Ewan McGregor nails it perfectly. He's like, "Hello there." so yeah, so you know, and we all know from A New Hope, you know, how awesome that line is and everything. And then it shows him riding off, you know, to, you know, then we know that, you know, and Obi-Wan's kind of a sad character, because like in the middle of the series, you know, we had Tala, played by Indira Varma. You know, she was she was the Empire officer, but you know, she was really undercover for the Resistance. And I kind of thought that they had a thing going, and it's sad because, like, you know, and then she dies, and that was a tragic scene, and like the droid is like shielding her, and you know, and then she lets the grenade go, you know, because I thought that her and Obi-Wan, you know, had like a love interest thing going there, and then of course she dies, so Obi-Wan's destined and doomed to be alone, you know, which is kind of sad if you think about it. So going back to the ending, so then he's riding off, and then who do we see by Qui-Gon Jinn? You know, Liam Neeson himself. You know, he's standing there, you know, and then how Obi-Wan's like, "I've been looking for you," you know, and he's like, "I've been here the whole time. You weren't ready to see me," you know, and he's like, "Come," you know, and then, it was the perfect ending to Star Wars. So I gave the story a 1.5. I wouldn't give it a 2, but the first 2 episodes were kind of weak. You know, and I know it's building, you know, and I understood what they were doing. I was patient with it, but I thought that it could have been handled a little bit better, you know. So yeah, so I gave it a 1.5, which you know is pretty damn good. So now I'm going to talk about pacing. So here's the thing. Now, pacing, I gave it a 1, and that might sound bad, a 1 out of 2, but it's not. It's not bad. Again, the pacing is because, like, again, with the first 2 episodes, really damaged the pacing, you know, because it was kind of clunky, and it was filling itself out and everything, which I understand, you know, and I gave it a 1. I could have gave it a 0, but I gave it a 1 because I knew what they were doing. They were building to something bigger, you know, something more important, you know. So yeah, so I'm giving pacing a 1, but after episode 3, totally awesome. If all the episodes had been like 3 or 4 up until 6, I would have gave it a 2. But it is what it is. I gave it a 1 because there are some where it gets going and then it just kind of stops at a dime, and it's just like and it's like come on, let's go, and especially with the first episode, like it kind of took long to longer than I would have liked to get where it was going, basically, is what I'm saying. And I know that's probably nitpicking. Some of you guys some of you might agree with me. Some of you might not, but at the same time, totally fine. 1 out of 2 is pretty good, pretty respectable. I probably would have given it a 1.5 if the first episode had more, what was handled a little bit better in terms of. I gotta go back to the Leia scene where she's running away from the. Oh my God, what a scene! What are we talking about here, people? I have no idea. But it's the final 2 episodes is what cinches it. And of course, the highlight is seeing Hayden Christensen, himself back as Anakin Skywalker. That was something to behold. And just the emotional gravitas that the later episodes had, especially that last episode with the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader, and it lived up to expectations. That's my theory, and I'm going to get into the action here in a second. But everybody was calling it the rematch, and everything, and it lived up to it, because Revenge of the Sith, they're fighting. Revenge of the Sith is one of the best lightsaber battles, and I think one of my personal favorites is Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon against Darth Maul, because Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters, and they need to bring him back. They need to put him somewhere, with his robotic, with his droid legs or whatever, because we all know, in the animated series, he came back. But it's just the language that's spoken between the two of them and everything. It really took off. Okay, now let's go. So pacing, not too bad. But now I'm going to talk about the action or the artistry, as G-Man says. But I like to say action because I'm an action website, so I talk about the action. Now, the action in the first 2 episodes, it's definitely leaves you wanting a whole lot more. The chase on Alderaan is ridiculous. Like 3 kidnappers can't catch this little girl. And then, of course, and then in the second episode, she doesn't trust Obi-Wan, so she runs away from him, and she's avoiding everything. She's I gotta tell you, she can rob a bank because she can definitely get away because she knows what she's doing. So it's really when Vader shows up, and then because then oh, this is Star Wars, because not only, and then you got James Earl Jones' voice and everything, and he's brutal, and the action is much more enhanced. I think they probably might have done that for a reason. Because like I said, how it was kind of like ooh, what's going on here with Star Wars, the first 2 episodes, but then it's just like bam, it's like it totally like does a 180, and the lightsaber battles are awesome. Like I said, the Reva Darth Vader match, I even enjoyed that one. I liked how she was doing her low crouching moves and everything. And let me tell you, when Vader's fighting, okay, and I'm getting excited here because, again, this is the 4-year-old inside of me, who was telling me that I can't look at things like that anymore because I'm a 49-year-old man. But I was getting giddy because this is something I have never seen before, and I mentioned it to my friend the other day. I freaking loved how when Vader, and then even Obi-Wan did it, but Vader did it the most. When he was fighting somebody with lightsabers, he would use the Force to block and parry. Like if somebody would come in with lightsaber, he'd go, and it's. I thought that was badass. Let me commend Disney on that one. I think they should have done that in all the movies, because that's how they're masters of the Force. Not only are they wielding these lightsabers around like freaking samurais of old, but, then, him using the Force and he's stopping them and throwing them around like ragdolls and everything. And that's what really sold it for me. I got to tell you, freaking awesome. If you're a Star Wars fan, they got to do more of that. Like using the Force to block and parry. As a martial artist myself, although I haven't done a lot of it lately, but that I thought that was a nice touch to put that in there in the fight scenes, especially when he's fighting Reva, when Vader's fighting Reva, and then of course at the end, Obi-Wan's fighting Vader, and they're with the rocks and everything, and they're and it's just one of it doesn't disappoint, and I was so happy, and that's when I was being patient. Like when I was watching, I was like, okay, it's gonna get better, it's gotta get better, it's gotta get better. This isn't Boba Fett. This isn't Boba Fett. And here's the thing. I've seen a lot of action movies. I've seen a lot of fights, choreography wise and stuff like that. And I like how the fights were shot here. The sequences, the action sequences, again, the camera work, the angles, the editing. Of course, there is editing, and cuts and close-ups and stuff like that. But for the most part, you can see it, except when it was dark. I mean, again, why do they have to do that? I mean, this is a bigger budgeted production. But yeah, I was like, why can't you be like I said, I watched an indie movie the other night, and I was like, wow, it was at night. I'm like, this is like well lit. I can see exactly what's going on. And they probably spent $150 on this movie, but they spent it on lights. So that all makes all the difference in the world. How funny is that? Holy shit. The action, I gave it a 2. Even with the clunkiness of the first couple episodes, 3 through 6 definitely made up for it. And like I said, and again, I was kind of worried. I was nervous because the buildup of Obi-Wan and Vader, their second match, because Revenge of the Sith, my God, what an awesome lightsaber battle that is. One of the best in the whole series, let me tell you. And while I don't think that this one and Obi-Wan surpasses Revenge of the Sith, it's still awesome, and it still lived up to my expectations. Like I said, I didn't set my expectation meter bar too high, but it exceeded it. And I think that like when they were filming this with Deborah Chow, she's probably like, we can't screw this up because I will get hate mail and death threats and everything, so I think they were like, okay, we might screw some things up, but we're not going to screw up Vader versus Obi-Wan, and they did not, and that's why I gave it a 2. The climactic finale, it's expertly choreographed, it's just dramatic. It's got a dramatic punch to it. Like I said, the gravitas, and then the words that are spoken between the two. Oh, it just gets you right here if you're a Star Wars fan from old, and it's just like, oh my God, they just nailed the moment, and they nailed it. And the action sequence is one of the best. And there's actually some pretty good blaster fights too, and again, stormtroopers still can't shoot for shit, but why would they here? It's like, so, but here, and I'll go into something else a little bit later. But now let's talk about characters. Character-wise, I gave it a 1.5. And the 1.5 goes because, you have your beloved characters. You have Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. You got Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia. And I thought I loved little Leia. Let me tell you, she did an awesome job. And at first, like I said, Reva wasn't winning me over as Inquisitor Reva, but then her character arc switched around so big time, and then when it was finally revealed of who she was and what she was doing, I thought that was awesome. Kamali Nanjiani, we all know that he was in the Eternals, but he's here, and he plays Haja, who's a fake Jedi, like he's a scammer. Yeah, he's pretending to be a Jedi, having people pay him to get off the planet, But I thought he was kind of wasted at first, but then he kind of picked it up a little bit. But I think he was a missed opportunity. And Sung Kang from Fast and Furious, was fifth brother, but he's got all the makeup on and everything. I thought he was kind of a disappointment because he really didn't do anything. I mean, I might have to go back and watch it, and let me know out there if you're watching, did I miss something? Because he just walked around and snarled all the time, and he had all that makeup on, so you couldn't really see that it was Sung Kang, who plays Han in the Fast and Furious movies. But yeah, another missed opportunity there. But Rupert Friend, let me tell you, as the Grand Inquisitor, he was an awesome character. And again, missed opportunity. Like, he could have done so much more. It's like the secondary characters, they were like, okay, we need to focus so much on Vader and Obi-Wan, get that right. They kind of let everybody else fall by the wayside. It was like they were like like dominoes, because Rupert Friend is the Grand Inquisitor. At first, I kind of looked at him, I was like, but because we all know he's in the the animated series too. Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity here. But what are you gonna do? The Grand Inquisitor definitely different than in Star Wars Rebels, and we know Jason Isaacs is him in Rebels. But I thought Rupert Friend nailed it. But I just wanted to see him do more and everything. And sorry, I forgot to switch it to characters because I got so excited. Yeah, another missed opportunity. So I was kind of toying with my emotions a little bit on this one. So I was like 1.5 or 1. I was like, because Obi-Wan, let me say, and again, okay, now here's where I go into my Ewan McGregor fanboy moment, because he is perfect as a younger Obi-Wan Kenobi. His mannerisms, and Ewan McGregor watched Alec Guinness, who played Obi-Wan in A New Hope and throughout the series, the original series. How he plays with the bear like Alec Guinness would sit there, in the original movie. Like, he nails that part, and you could just tell it's like he watched his mannerisms and everything. He is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the one thing I did enjoy is he showed up, unlike Boba Fett, who disappeared in the Book of Boba Fett, and the Mandalorian took over. Obi-Wan Kenobi actually shows up in every episode, and he's doing stuff. It's like, what a concept. It's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he was in it. So, but the Book of Boba Fett, he fell by the wayside. I want to email somebody at Disney, be like, what was going on there? If you do a season 2, can you make Boba Fett more badass? Okay, I got 3 things. More badass, keep the helmet on more. I mean, you can take it off. I get it. It's Tamara Morrison. But keep the helmet on more and have him be in the whole goddamn series. But what are you going to do, right? Oh, my God. It's like, what a concept. Ewan McGregor was in it. But yeah, and him and Hayden Christensen, and we all know he looks a little older. And the only thing, when they did the flashback scene, you could tell that Hayden Christensen was not the Hayden Christensen back in the original prequel series, because that was so long ago. It's like you could tell they were trying to make him look younger, but it just wasn't working. But that's besides him. But he nails it. He's back, and you knew he was excited to be back as Anakin and Darth Vader, and he nails Darth Vader. And of course, we know James Earl Jones. What can you say about him? All you hear is his voice, but he is Vader. I mean, sadly, and again, I don't want to be negative here, but when he passes away, it's like, who's going to do Vader's voice? It's like, if they do anything in the future, they better get somebody who really knows. So I gave it a 1.5. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, so 1.5, because the main characters, they did justice. It's just, and Reva, I loved her character arc, so she cinched it for me. I loved younger Leia. I thought she was awesome in it. But everybody else is just kind of, Atala, she was good. I liked her arc with Obi-Wan and everything. So there's good things, but a lot of missed opportunities, fumbling the ball at the 1-yard line, if you will, with a lot of the secondary characters. So that's why I gave it a 1.5. Which leads us to overall enjoyment. So can you see how excited I am talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Because I'm such a Star Wars fan. The only thing I got to apologize for, I don't have any Star Wars paraphernalia right now, so I'm wearing a Punisher hat and a Top Gun shirt. I was going to try to get something before, but I got no money. So what are you going to do? See, and there goes my train of thought. Bear with me. I'll be there in a second. Live television, everybody. But okay, what I was saying was, I wanted to get something Star Wars, and I did have Star Wars stuff in the past, but it just got to the point where it was just so ratty and everything, it's like I got rid of it, and I never found a hat that that I really liked, but I'm gonna have to, because I don't have any. If you look in my office, you want to know that I'm a huge Star Wars fan because it's severely lacking. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm getting off track here, but I'm gonna go Hobby Lobby. I went with my wife to Hobby. This is a funny story. Let me just tell you this before I go into it. I don't want to bore you guys. But we went to Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago. And let me tell you, they had so much stuff there to decorate a fanboy's room with. I didn't even know where to start. And I was just kind of bummed that, again, because I'm out of work right now, paying the bills is more important than buying, fanboy stuff. But they had some awesome Star Wars stuff, some cool pictures, and things. I'm like, oh, I need this. But what are you gonna do, right? So yeah, so I was like, I need to represent Star Wars, and I haven't, in the years. But I have all the movies, I got them on DVD and Blu-ray, and everything, and Rogue One is my favorite, let me tell you. And I got the ultimate special edition for Rogue One because I think that's my favorite Star Wars movie. And I'll have a Rogue One special further down the road here on ACTION-FLIX Live because the ACTION-FLIX Live, sorry. Because that's probably my favorite Star Wars movie. Besides, the original, because that was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. But yeah, so overall enjoyment. So it's a 2. I like it wins. Like I said, it gets off to a shaky, slow start, but then they nail it with the middle and the last episodes. So big 2, which leads us to overall 8 out of 10 for Obi-Wan Kenobi. There you go. It's worthy of being in the Star Wars franchise, and it's definitely the best Star Wars besides The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is just so awesome, but Obi-Wan really they delivered what they promised, especially with Vader and Obi-Wan, coming together, and having their ultimate rematch and everything, and the history behind them, and it was just awesome from beginning to end. Yeah, so it's a solid 8 out of 10, which is ACTION-FLIX approved. I'm gonna totally watch it over and over again. I'm gonna do Mandalorian and Obi-Wan, like that Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna watch it again and just see, because there's good things to like about Boba Fett. I'm wondering what I would have given it. I might have given it a 6 or a 7 out of 10, and that's being kind of high. But it is what it is. But they gotta definitely step up to the plate and hit a homer if they do a season 2 with that one. So yeah. So again, if you're a Star Wars fan, there was a lot to love about Obi-Wan Kenobi. They nail it, especially with the main characters and the history and what they do with everything. It is just flat out Star Wars awesomeness. And like I said, at 49 years old, I turned the big 50 in December. I still have a kid inside of me. Okay. And especially since I've had my neurological disorder, I've had a lot to go through. And it's stuff like this. Okay. It's stuff like, talking to you and doing my website. This is my therapy. And like I said, I'm going on 44 minutes. I was going to try to keep this to 30 minutes, but epic fail, because I just love talking, because as you know, I stutter and stuff and I lose my train of thought, but I just enjoy doing this. Oh, so awesome, And like I said, just the ending gave me chills up my spine. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to love Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I know I warned you guys there were going to be spoilers. So I hope that you guys didn't watch this thinking, that there weren't going to be spoilers, because I had it all over the place. So again, if you're out there, shoot me a line. What did you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did it live up to your expectations? Did you think of how I thought? Did you like the first 2 episodes? I thought the second episode, like I said, I loved how, Obi-Wan was kind of he was destroyed Obi-Wan. Like, you know, he was still kind of an ass kicker, but, you know, he wasn't the Obi-Wan that we knew and loved. But I still love how he was doing the martial arts and everything, you know, so that was kind of cool. So, yeah, Disney Plus, you nailed it with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I believe they're doing a season 2. So, and okay, I almost forgot about this. The music. A lot of people complaining because they're not using John Williams' original music, although he wrote a special theme for Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is awesome. And then the last episode, they do the Imperial March finally because, you know, I think they were waiting for a specific moment to do it, but they should have done it as soon as Vader came on screen. They should have started it up and cue the Imperial March. They should have done it, and that was a huge missed opportunity. It probably would have got a 9 out of 10 from me if they had done that. I don't understand why they got to do. I don't understand why they got to do new music. All right, the music is like a character in itself in the Star Wars universe. John Williams' score is so iconic from all the movies. Use it. God damn it. It's like, you know, I get they're using all these new composers and stuff like that, and they're trying different things, but you know, okay. You can have new music, but put John Williams music into it more. Maybe now because like we've reached this pinnacle here, they're going to use, you know, now like if we see Darth Vader again, you know, you know, they'll do the Imperial March, you know, all the time and everything, you know, and because that's what they need. Star Wars needs John Williams, and God love him, he's going to be retiring soon. He says he's probably going to retire after doing Indiana Jones 5, but so much to enjoy from that man. Such a legacy. So it's kind of a rub or a snub that they're not using his music the way it should be, you know. So that's another big gripe, and I almost forgot to talk about that. So yeah, so Disney, get on it, you know. It's like give the fans what they want. We want to hear the music, you know, the score, the John Williams score, you know. We want to see the Star Wars logo with the main theme music. That's what we want. It's like, and again, people are going to argue me with like, this one guy that I was arguing with about nostalgia. It's like, there's, you know, it's like, yeah, I know there's newer people watching this, but, you know, this is us. I was there 1977, bitches. You know, it's like, this is tailored to me. You know, and I'm sorry some of you guys weren't born until when you were born, but it's like, yeah, it's like Star Wars means more to people who were there from the beginning, from the get-go. And a lot of people, like my wife has only seen one Star Wars movie. I'm going to try to rectify that situation. I don't know how it'll go, but it is what it is. She was born in 85, so she's way younger than I am, and gorgeous and a wonderful woman. Yeah, so, and my friend hasn't seen any of them, I think. I'm like, how can you not? But then again, you know, but he's 40, so he was around a lot longer. So I don't know. All right, so that's the end of my big Obi-Wan Kenobi reaction special. 8 out of 10, as you can see. Loved it. There was a lot to there's a lot to love about it. And again, it has its flaws. Nothing's perfect. If you go back and watch the originals movies, again, there's flaws in those too. Like there's a lot of suspect acting in it, you know, and stuff like that. But the cheesiness of it is what gears us to love it so much. So yeah. All right. So tips and donations greatly appreciated. You can donate at the website. I got a special section at the website or on my audio podcast through Anchor. There's another one. Like I said, it's been hard to do the website, but this is my therapy because it costs money to keep the website going, which I really don't have right now. So any tips or donations that you feel in your heart to help me continue entertaining you with the ACTION-FLIX would be greatly appreciated, which leads me up to check out my website, actionflix.com. We are your destination for everything action in 2022 and beyond. I mean, this is the show I do on YouTube, but my website, actionflix.com, that's my bread and butter. So pretty big right there. And then let me advertise this Friday. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is going to be my first live interview. I've done so many interviews since I've been doing the website that I got it at 10 o'clock a.m. I know it's a Friday, but you know, you got to do it when you can do it. But there's a movie coming out on July 14th, and it's called Exiled: The Chosen Ones, and it looks badass. I'm going to watch it tonight. It's not on July 14th, but I got a screener, and I'm so excited because it looks bloody and brutal, and it looks like a freaking good time. And I got the director on this Friday, Ranjit S. Mara. He's a cutting edge filmmaker. He's got another movie coming out called Rupture, which stars martial arts action star Mark Strange. I'm looking forward to this one. But check out the trailer on YouTube for Exile: The Chosen Ones. It's debuts July 14th on Amazon Prime, but this Friday here on YouTube on my ACTION-FLIX live special, I'm going to be interviewing Ranjit about the film, and I'm going to get into it, how it was created, the fights and everything, so it's going to be badass. My first live interview. I am so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am to be doing this. As you know, I've been doing all my interviews through the podcast and everything, but that's all been recorded up to now. So this is my first live one. And I'm a little nervous, because like I said, I got my stutter. I've been talking pretty good now. I've had a good night. So woo. But yeah, so I'm hoping that I get to I don't fall on my face. But yeah, this Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast. Ranjit's in the UK, so it's going to be 3 o'clock, I believe, for him. But we are going to talk about Exiled: The Chosen Ones. And of course, I'm going to do a review for it. I'm going to do a big special about it. Talk about it, do an ACTION-FLIX live because he's coming on. He's supporting me. I'm going to support him, and we're just going to have a great conversation about the movie. This Friday, 10 o'clock here on the ACTION-FLIX live is my live exclusive interview with filmmaker Ranjit S. Mara, who has directed Exile: The Chosen Ones, the brutal new action thriller that is coming to Amazon Prime July 14th. All right, so there's my big plug. Not sure what after that one my next episode is going to be. It's going to be next week. I think I'm trying to nail down a day, because everybody does, their shows on a specific day. But like I said, my situation isn't the same. Like I said, I have good days and bad days because of my disorder. So like I wanted to do this on Monday because I watched it on Sunday. But then, things happened and I wasn't doing really good, and I was fried, and everything. So I decided to do it yesterday. But then again, that didn't work out. So, but I was able to do it today. And I'm so excited I got to talk to you guys about Obi-Wan Kenobi because, man, was it awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So you know what to do right down there. That's what helps, support. And I can't thank everybody enough for all the support that you've given me, from people in the industry to every regular people that watch me and read me. I'm just a regular guy from Mineral, Ohio, who had a dream, and that was to talk about action movies because I've loved them since I was a kid. And I will do this until I'm 6 feet under, let me tell you. All right, so 8 out of 10 for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tips and donations appreciated. I was trying to say that without stuttering. And this Friday, 10 o'clock a.m., not p.m., a.m., 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast, my big interview with Exile: The Chosen Ones director Ranjit S. Mara. Going to have a good time with him, going to chat with him. I've been talking to him on social media a lot, so I'm really excited and jazzed to talk. And I love these independent filmmakers. They're so jazzed about what they're doing and what they're doing, creatively with the action movies and stuff like that. Sonny Pang's in it. We all know Sonny Pang, a freaking Indonesian legend, and he headshot with Iko Uwais. He had a big fight with him. So I'm excited to see that. I want to interview Sonny Pang. So Sonny, if you're listening, I want you for the ACTION-FLIX live. Let me know. So I got Ranjit this Friday. Can't tell you how excited I am to do a live interview here on YouTube. All right, so I'm going to keep it to an hour. I'm at 56 minutes right now. So going to let you guys go. Have an awesome night. Remember, keep action alive, as Owen says over at the Action Elite. Not sure when we're doing another Action Elite live. tonight was supposed to be one because we're doing it on Wednesday night, but people had stuff going on, so that's why I decided it was okay to do mine tonight. Next week, Wednesday, is my wife's birthday, so obviously, I if they do have one, I will not be there because I will be celebrating my wife's birthday. So yeah, so I'm not sure about that, but I'll let you know like when we nail something down and when I'm back on that show. But I'm still doing my thing here on the ACTION-FLIX Live. I got StreamYard now. I'm super excited that, I got more bells and whistles than I did before. If you go back and watch like my first couple episodes, they're pretty pathetic. I was using my phone, the show trailers and stuff like that. But then again, YouTube like nails you for stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to talk about movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I want to do one on SEAL Team, my favorite TV show. I love that show. I want to do a big retrospective because season 5 ended a little while ago. And oh my God, I can't wait for season 6. One of my favorite shows. So I want to do a retrospective on SEAL Team. And I want to do more action rewinds, which you all know that's my category here at actionflix.com where I talk about older action movies. So, yeah, I got a lot of things cooking. It's just a matter of when I can do them, when my disorder lets me do them. My shoulder's healing. I've had physical therapy, which sucks, So let me talk to you about FND, not to keep you. But functional neurological disorder heightens anxiety and pain and messes with your brain and body's communication with each other. So that's basically what's happening. My hardware is fine. That's how it was described to like my organs and everything. I'm doing good there. It's my software that's scrambled. I'm doing physical therapy for something so painful. I had my rotator cuff fixed in April, and I've been doing physical therapy for about 3 weeks now. And let me tell you, holy shit, it is not fun, especially when you have a disorder. So yeah, so doing stuff like this keeps me going. I got to thank my sister, Beth, Liz Jerva, who gave me a new laptop because mine crapped out. And of course I didn't have money to buy a new one. And she swooped in and got me one last December for Christmas and my birthday. And I can't thank her enough, because I'm able to do this stuff now and have some fun with you guys. And like I said, I just get excited because like when it's a good night, I just want to talk, That's why I wanted to get somebody on the show and just talk, Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I think I did a pretty good job by myself. One of these days I'll have somebody on the show. I had Charlie Chase from Give Me Back My Action Movies podcast on the second episode that I did. We talked about ninja movies. But ever since then, it's been myself talking to a screen. But what are you going to do? So here's what I also want you to do. Like and subscribe, but also throw me some messages about what you want to see. What do you want me to cover here at actionflix.com, the ACTION-FLIX Live? Let me know what you want to see. Is there a movie out there you want me to cover? Is there a movie out there? Because I'm trying to come up with different things. And also I want to come up with things for Owen at the Action Elite Live, and stuff like that. Yeah, so throw me a line. Let me know what you want to do in terms of action movies or television. Like I said, I love action television too. Like I said, SEAL Team is awesome. I love SWAT. SWAT's another favorite of mine that I love. I love Strike Back, even though it's not on anymore. One of my favorite shows. Sullivan Stapleton, frickin' Philip Winchester were frickin' awesome. And I even loved the new cast when they came out with them. So that's one of my favorite shows too. Soldier of Fortune. Poor Brad Johnson passed away recently. So sad about that. And here's another big thing. I had a Tim Abel interview. Tim Abel was on Soldier of Fortune. He played Benny Ray Riddle. And here it goes again. Hang on. Give me a second. He plays Benny Ray Riddle on Soldier of Fortune. I did an interview with him like 2 years ago. And there's actually a whole bunch of interviews that I had on my device. And it crapped out. And I lost all my interviews. I don't know how many interviews I lost. I was so distraught. Worst thing in the world. But then I got it fixed. And now I have all these interviews from a while ago that I'm going to be putting out now. I tell you what, And he's one of them, and he was great to talk to. And I just messaged him the other day and asked him if I could put it out and then do a second one with him. He said yes, so awesome. And then I got a couple interviews that I'm working on now. They're taking me a little longer to put together, like I said, because there's a lot of editing involved. But I talked to you last night about a certain martial arts direct-to-video action star from the 90s that I talked to, who was awesome. That I'm going to be putting out. I cannot wait. It was such a fun conversation to talk to him. We had such a good time. One of my favorite interviews. And then I talked to another filmmaker named Stephen Luke, who has 2 movies coming out. Come Out Fighting, which stars Kellen Lutz and Michael Jai White and Tyrese Gibson. It's a World War II thriller. And then also Operation Seawolf with Dolph Lundgren and Frank Grillo. So I got to talk to him about those movies, and they're not even out yet. So I got that one coming out too. And then I got a bunch of other interviews lined up. So having some fun here. And I'm going to be doing it via the StreamYard too now. So I'm going to be doing my interviews on YouTube. So that's going to be exciting. So there you go. I'm at 1 hour and 48 seconds now. So I'm going to sign off before I keep talking, before I overstay my welcome, which I probably already did. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Tips and donations greatly appreciated. I thank everybody for, seeing me through this and helping me through this. You are my lifeline, and I love you all. Okay, so remember, ACTION-FLIX.com. We are your destination for everything action in 2022 and beyond. Until next time, I'll see you Friday, 10 o'clock. If you can't make it, of course, it'll be on YouTube. You can catch the replay. But Ranjit S. Mara of Exile, the Chosen One's the director. I'm going to talk to him live on this show right here. Me and him chatting about some good, brutal action. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Until Friday, I'll talk to you later.